Well, hello YouTubers, this is UXW Bill again, and tonight I'm going to show you something very interesting. I was out on a computer service call tonight, and lo and behold, I came away with a free computer. Another one of those older Dell machines, but hey, they're tough as nails, they keep going about forever, and will at least try to go again even if you flood one of them. But this one's got a different problem. Now, this isn't a bad looking little system. It's a Dimension V350. Never heard of that one before. When you open it up and you begin to smell it, you realize that for basically the entire, wow, it's 10 years old. But for the entire 10 years that it's been around, it's been in a chain smoker's office. And you can see it. No offense to anybody who smokes, but when you don't, this kind of thing is icky. You can see the cables are yellowed. You can see some of the orange fuzz on the power supply vents. There's probably orange fuzz on that heatsink under there. And you can see the discoloration in the PCI slots on the motherboard. Anyway, this computer was given to me. It probably works just fine, but really it smells bad enough that I haven't wanted to power it up just yet. So I'm going to do something. With the help of the Ultimate Computer and K-Car Repair Twiddler's Toolkit, I'm going to take this computer apart and I'm going to give it a bath. Oh yeah, look at that. I think it could be time for all of us to get together and say, ew. And there we go. It looks a lot less like a computer now. But there's one thing we want to do before it ever gets wet. Take this battery out, because otherwise we'll have a disaster. Because with that battery in there, certain portions of the motherboard are powered all the time. Now basically, all of this stuff, with the exception of the MacBook back there, is going to go in the dishwasher. Although, there are certain things like this, even though it's a Maxtor hard drive, it doesn't belong in the dishwasher. Now you need to play dominoes with it later. Get a whole bunch of its friends, stack them up, and watch the fun. It's really a tough call as to whether or not these should. This is the floppy drive. This is the CD-ROM. But they're gungy enough that I'm just going to throw them in there. And if that breaks them, I've got extras. Well, there it is, everybody. The motherboard, the cables, expansion cards, processor, front panel, air duct, fan, floppy drive, all that stuff. Gonna go for a bath. Now the case itself and the side panel, both of those were definitely too big and cumbersome to get in the dishwasher, so I'm just going to have to wash those by hand. And yes, in case anyone was wondering, this is a messy kitchen. And a messy kitchen is a happy kitchen. This kitchen is so messy, it's delirious. Woohoo. Alright, got her soap in there. Now don't tell anybody, this is my mom's dishwasher. Shut the door, this is your last chance to stop watching. And because this has been a nasty computer, we're going to do the heavy wash. But we're not going to do high temp wash because some of this lightweight thermoplastic in here might melt. I've had that happen a time or two with keyboards. Here we go. And for the extra special jobs, down here in the basement we've got a set of good old-fashioned laundry tubs. And nothing beats a set of good old-fashioned functional laundry tubs. You hear the dishwasher running upstairs. So it's doing its job. Now I've got to do mine. And there's the case, cleaning up nicely. Got it all soaped down inside. Look at that disgusting water coming out of there. It even smells a bit. Here's the case all cleaned up and looking really, really good. Much better than before, I'd say. Both inside and out. And here's the aftermath. The floppy drive, it looks brand new. This CD-ROM drive really cleaned up well. Processor heatsink is perfect again. Fan's all nice and clean. And I kind of worried about putting this in there because I thought water might find its way into the bearing, but I don't think it's bothered it a bit. These expansion cards are all cleaned up. Looking good. Should be fine after they dry out. This air guide doesn't even smell bad anymore. Power supply. You gotta be kind of careful putting these in the dishwasher, but giving them enough time to dry out is usually enough to assure that they will not blow up in some entertaining way. And the motherboard's looking a lot better too. Well, the motherboard's smelling a lot better. I don't think there's a huge difference really in how it looks, and the printing on some of the chips is clearer. And the PCI slots and the processor support are a little bit wider than they were. Yeah, the biggest difference is just that the thing all around smells better, and the case definitely brightened up as I scrubbed it. Here we are, one day later. This computer is all put back together again. I've given everything that was inside it a lot of quality drying time on the dashboard of my truck, where I could sit in the sun all day while I was at work and dry out. And I've had a fan on it for the past half an hour or so. So now it's time for the grand power-up. I haven't tried it before this, so whatever happens, happens. I've got to put the hard drive back in, but I've got it right here. I'm going to do that next. Alright, here we go. This is our first power-up. We have ye old test bench monitor here, which is just barely Super VGA capable, so I may have to start this thing up in safe mode if it starts up. Here we go. I hear signs of life. Look at that. What more could you want? And I'll bet you were sitting there thinking all along that he's being an idiot, and there's no way in the world that system will ever work after he's had it in the dishwasher. If you take the appropriate precautions, and you've got nothing to lose, it's worth trying. First, we've got an error there. Check the time and date settings. So we're going to set up and set the time and date there, and then I'll see if it'll start Windows. Here we go. Taking it from the top. Wow, that sounds bad. See if this thing will boot up like it ought to. Going through its memory test. A whopping 64 megabytes. Wow. Dell Windows 98. I've got a project in mind for this machine though. I'm going to make a network attached storage server out of it most likely. So I can put a serial ATA controller in one of the PCI slots, and there's spaces where you could put hard drives in there, and you really don't need a very fast processor to do something like that. So let's see what we get here. A prompt for a password. I think I know what it is. Got it on the first try. Some people really do not stop to consider security. But there we go. Proof positive that you can put the entirety, almost the entirety of a computer's parts in the dishwasher, and so long as you let them dry out, they'll be fine. And just to conclude the test, let's see if we can shut this crazy thing down. Might have tried to do that too soon. Still starting up. Nope, there we go. And there we go. What more could you want?